I thought to myself, okay, this can't be happening to me, okay? Do you understand what was going through my mind? What am I gonna do? The little thing is gonna kick off because I didn't have enough money. We might go out of camera for a second because I just don't know what I'll do if something happens to Pepper.
I'm free from living lies, free from my own deception, headed the right direction. I walk through the fields of mud.
Be aware, because that's the other thing. She's a B&E artist, okay? Look, you leave the door open for 2 seconds, she's gone. She doesn't know where the to go. She just stands there. She's too smart to run away, but she certainly needs to feel the need to go out. So you got to be aware of what, try not to mess with her too much, or she'll, you'll start to oh, you're a good girl, and she'll,
reasonably comfortable. I know it's okay, Pootie.
I'm paying the rent for the cat because it's her house. It ain't mine. Sometimes I think she thinks I'm a cat, but no, I think she does. If you see what's on the table over there, a triple decorated Comanche foreign officer. I come from a very proud military family, and these kind of people, you kind of people. So just whatever you can do, and I'll make sure that I remember you just like you did for me. It was that weird discharge that came out. It was a clear discharge. I thought she peed on top of my bed. That's what I thought at first. Right. She never does that. She is a trained cat. She always uses her litter box without fail. Okay. And then she just stopped eating. After she threw up 2 or 3 times. Then she stopped eating for 3 days. She's a lesser something's happened. I don't know, because she's a spunky, nutty cat, right? And that's not spunky and nutty. That's something else. I'm not sure what that is, but is it a bladder infection that's gone out of control? Does she have a intestinal blockage that we need to address? Is she got cancer and she's on her way out of this life? What?
So basically, we're going to go in the corner where she wants to be, and we're going to see how she does step by step, and we're going to let her lead the way. And as long as we do that, we should do this in a low stress way. Stress for cats, if they're sick, is definitely not a good thing. They can react in unintended ways. So look at you in that corner, huh? Look at you in that corner. Here, we go to Pepper's preferred location and introduce the stethoscope while giving her a chin rub, just to see if she's okay with that. The best experiences for shy or spicy cats or dogs should feel like that. They've got to feel like they're still in charge of something. On her physical exam, I could tell that her abdomen felt a little bit distended. This distension and the observation that there's some vaginal discharge tells us that we should get a sample and look underneath the microscope. How do we know that a physical exam, while maybe not their favorite thing, isn't too bad? Well, if they're not bolting away from us and they're willing to be social, and they maybe just saunter out of the room, find a couch to lie down on, that's consistent. We're okay with that. So it's pretty common for us to turn someone's kitchen table into a laboratory. And that means we bring out the microscope, we bring out our stains, and very carefully process those slides, and we look all together, that's Brent, Tara, and I, at what that discharge is. Everywhere we look, there's white blood cells and bacteria. It's all over the place. There's not a spot on this slide that isn't free of white blood cells and bacteria. We've got all this white blood cells. White blood cells, essentially what you've got in there is pus. There's pus inside. Where's that pus coming from? Where are all these bacteria coming from?
Exactly.
So, Pepper's a cat. A female cat who has her reproductive organs intact. So she hasn't been spayed. This is called a queen. Now, queens are great. And some of them, later in life, start to feel not so great. Why? It starts with cystic endometrial hyperplasia. See, the walls and the glands in the uterus become abnormal. They get really inflamed, and then really infected. Pus builds up, and it can get so bad that the uterus can actually rupture, and that can be fatal. Now, cats being cats, sometimes they show nothing at first, nothing at all. And then eventually, just like Pepper, they can show all the above. And so our diagnosis here is PYOMETRA. Alright, so what do we do from here? Essentially, you need three things. Antibiotics, you need to stabilize them, and for many, but not all cats, you need a spay to ultimately cure them of this illness. Now for antibiotics, our long-acting injectables aren't the best choices here. So we're going to use oral antibiotics. Whenever any meds have to be given by mouth, for a cat, we are really strategic and creative in describing and showing how to do so. This way, you don't end up with a cat who runs away whenever they see you. And that's awful during an illness, because that bond between that person and their pet starts to get stressed. If you've got trouble giving medications or sub-Q fluids, then check out our instructions on how to do it when your cat doesn't really want them. For stabilization, it's typical to give fluids if they're dehydrated, and just get them eating. You can do this by dropping their fever if they've got one, or in Pepper's case, adding in some transdermal mirtazapine. This is a gel that you rub into the ear and voila, Pepper was eating within hours. We gave Brent a referral to a local hospital to have the spay done, and as far as we know, Pepper did okay. We lost touch after some time, but I hope things are going well for him. He's a really neat guy, really amazing cat.
You're not gonna like that part. Are you a good girl? That's all I want to know. Yes, you are.